So my birthday was February 23rd, and they charged me $223, which I thought that was funny because I wanted to pay $99 to get over there. Then they made me check my one bag, which they charged me $35, which I packed very light because I didn't want to check a bag, but they made me pay $35 for my bag. Then once I got to Hawaii, it was $1461.53 for a room on base for 7 days. And it was a $250 deposit, which I was surprised because usually on base you get deals for the veterans. But so I also bought some snacks. I had a refrigerator, so I got cereal, soda, chips, things like that, sweet stuff for my room. And then so the next day I walked across the street to the MWR and I bought a ticket for the cultural center for 3 days. At the Polynesian Cultural Center, and they give you 3 days to enjoy the activities. But after that first day, you are so tired, you really don't want to go back. And plus, it did rain, so I did not go back the other 2 days. I did pay $13, which was $12 plus tax, for a coconut. And then I had to pay $10 that night for Uber because the bus didn't take me where they dropped me off at, which they told me they ran to midnight and I was leaving at 9 o'clock. A few days later, I paid $110 for my actual birthday to do the submarine dive. And I went on base and visited the McDonald's. I did the sweetie, not sweetie, but Cardi B and for $15. So I did leave Skulls because I didn't like it. So they did refund $835. I called an Uber to the beach, and that was 3607. And then Helicoa, they made me pay $210 because I called and called, they never did answer the phone. So they called me back and said, you owe $45 because I made a mistake. I should have charged you $255. So they charged me additional $45. And then this was food at a restaurant, I think. And then I bought the luau tickets for my actual birthday, which was $115. And so I moved to Navy Lodge on the 20th, in which that saved me like $300. And it was a better location, but it wasn't perfect. I went to the store because my phone charger broke, so I had to buy a charger for $32. And then I called for Uber. The Uber never did come. And so a few days later, I did get my deposit back from the first hotel. Then I went to the Helicoa and I did order dinner, which was $67. Uber refunded me my money after they told me they would not refund me, but I put them on blast online for being robbers because they never showed up. And so the day after my birthday, I purchased my ticket for $279 going back home. Like I said, I couldn't find a cheaper flight, which I was hoping for. I did pay $35 again for my one bag. And then the Helicoa, the $765 is what they needed for the 4 days. I went from Monday through Thursday. I bought some food at the airport for $31. And this was the vendor's snack, which was $14.96. I didn't book 2 or 3 days because I know I didn't want to fly 8 hours just to be there for a few days and have to fly 8 hours back. So I booked my trip one way, which was a 223. And then so I was asking people what to do. And I heard about Schofield, the one they had on base, that hotel. But they didn't tell me that it was not a nice hotel, and they didn't tell me that the beach was actually cheaper than Schofield and much better. Halakoa was cheaper and it was much better than Schofield. And I was trying to, I spent over $3,000, but I was trying to save costs. I was riding the bus. That's a beautiful rainbow, by the way, on my birthday, by the way. I was riding the bus and I did not rent a car. So I saved that car rental cost. But it was frustration on the bus because the bus is, I've learned the bus is really for the locals. It's not for tourists because they take you around in the circles. They don't take you to your location. You have to get off of one bus and get on to another bus. So I learned that the bus is for the locals. It's not for tourists. So that when I travel next time, I will have to include my car rental expense, which car rental was supposed to be around $700. And yeah, like $100 a day. That's why I didn't rent a car because it would have been way more expensive to rent a car. And I did get to do a lot of things on my budget just by riding the bus. I got to see a lot. I did walk a lot. I did get some exercise. One day I did walk 8 miles. So yeah, I did get a lot of exercise when I was out there. And got to see a lot of things, but I guess it was so much more to see. It was a very, very rainy season. And like I said, the locals, I was very disappointed in how they lived. A lot of it, these beautiful parts were just for military or, if you paying some money, the locals, they deserve to live in paradise too. Which a lot of them, and I heard complaints, were living below poverty. Some people were sleeping outside that I met on the bus. I guess they thought since I was a tourist, I could somehow help. And I'm like really visiting on a credit card, which I got to pay back. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was not good for the locals. But my point in saying all this is that I want to travel more, but I don't want to spend so much money. So I want to travel more and do more, but I want to budget at the same time. And I've heard people catch $99 flights. I've never seen a $99 flight. I've heard people, you know, basically travel for under $1,000. Well, that's what they tell me. But whenever I travel, it always comes to above $1,000. So I need to find the sites and these people that travel on a budget because I want to be able to travel on a budget. Now I've heard about the little rooms you can get for like $20 a night, but it's more than one person in there. I wouldn't be able to sleep or feel comfortable with like four people in a room with me. That strangers, I couldn't do that. Then again, I really want to fly first class somewhere and be able to sleep the 8 hours versus sitting up the 8 hours. So I really have to just figure out my life at this point because I want to save money but live rich, rich broke.